Well, discussions for a new NAFTA deal have officially stopped for the weekend, and U.S. President Donald Trump is hinting that he may be losing patience with the process. Laura McQuillan has more on this story.
Arthi, it's the weekend, but no let-up from Donald Trump. The pressure on Canada to get a NAFTA deal, one that the US president likes. Now, he's making more threats about potential auto tariffs for Canada. Here's what he told a rally in North Dakota.
So every time I have a problem with any of these, many of these countries that we're talking about, especially the big car countries, I just say, okay, look, we can't make those deals. That's okay. I'm going to put a 20% tax on your cars. We'll do it. We'll do it. We'll agree. We'll agree. I mean, actually, in some countries, including Canada, a tax on cars would be the ruination of the country.
Now, Donald Trump there warning the ruination of Canada if he does go ahead with these threatened auto tariffs. Now, he's getting some criticism for being too aggressive, too blunt with that rhetoric as the negotiations continue. But on the other side, Canada's getting some flack for playing its cards too close to its chest. We've seen the Foreign Affairs Minister, Chrystia Freeland, repeatedly saying she's not going to negotiate this in public.
In terms of where we are in this negotiation, I think that it's very important to remember that in a trade agreement, it's not like running a race where you can say which mile you are at. In a trade negotiation, nothing is done until everything is done.
So everyone still wants to know when a deal is going to get done, or even if a deal can be reached. It's been 13 months that these negotiations have been ongoing, 12 days of intense talks there in Washington after Donald Trump set Canada a deadline, otherwise saying he'll go it alone with Mexico on a new deal. So another weekend is here, and yet we're no closer to knowing exactly where those talks stand or even how much progress has been made at this point, Arthi.
And now, Laura, given the fact, as you say, that Donald Trump has put additional pressure on the Canadian and the U.S. team really to either reach a deal or to abandon the NAFTA deal as it stands right now. And also, we know that talks have officially stopped over the weekend. So what happens next?
That's right, Chrystia Freeland heading back to Canada, and her US counterpart Robert Lighthizer actually heading to Europe for trade talks with the European Union. So he's going to be away for at least a few days next week. But while those top negotiators won't be at the table, we believe that the talks will be ongoing behind the scenes, still trying to bash out details of a deal. And those sticking points that we have been hearing about, those include the dairy sector. The US wants greater access to Canada's supply managed market. Of course, Canada reluctant to give that up. Also, Chapter 19, the dispute resolution system that gives NAFTA countries the ability to challenge duties. The US wants it gone, Canada wants it to stay. And also the cultural exemption clause for broadcasting, publishing and music. Justin Trudeau has said that's crucial for Canadian sovereignty and identity. And of course, when NAFTA was first agreed, it didn't involve digital platforms, so perhaps an update needed there. But at this point in time, it's not clear exactly what those final sticking points are or when talks will be ongoing, but we'll certainly be keeping an eye and an ear out for anything further from the US president on this, Arthi.
And that was the CBC's Laura McQuillan reporting. You're watching CBC News Network.